Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another devlog. In this devlog, I'm making a game for a game jam, and I'm making that game in a day. Why, you might ask? Why did it have to be in a day? Well, let me tell you a story. I hadn't planned on joining at all. This was the GDevelop weekend jam. I think it was like number 3. And it was from Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon in the same week. I saw the prompt, which was 2 buttons, and I said no. This does not inspire me. I'm not even going to bother with it. And then, Saturday morning at like 7:30, because I couldn't fall back asleep, my cats like to jump on my head and on my back and on my everything. Because they want to eat really early. By they, I mean Junimo, the little gray and white one. I should put him up on screen. That's him, officer. That's the man who assaulted me. Right there. See him? See that little criminal? Yeah. Look at him when he wants to be cute afterward. Anyway, back to the story. Couldn't fall asleep because once I wake up, my brain wakes up. And when my brain wakes up, we're not going back to sleep. And this idea popped into my head. And I tried to fight it, but I felt like if I didn't try, I'd regret it. So I guess I'm joining after all. I cleared all my tasks for the day, besides making food, and focused on the entire day just getting it done. And it had to be in a day, because I go to church in the morning, and I'm exhausted after working on this for a whole day straight, and I knew I was going to want to take a nap, and I would not get this done in time. So basically, I had all of Saturday, and a tiny bit of Sunday morning. And technically, it was about 24-ish hours, so I'm calling it in a day. So that's what I did. And I guess we'll just start talking about the game now. Okay, it is 8 in the morning. And this is technically the first full day of the game jam. It started yesterday. I was not going to join it, but now I have an idea, so I'm going to try. So this is my idea. I want to call it Pixie Picker. And what you do is you have to pick flowers as they grow. And if there's a certain amount of flowers covering the whole screen, it's game over because you didn't pick them fast enough. I don't know if that'll be any fun for anybody, but I'm making it in a few hours, so like it is what it is. And basically all you do is you have to wait for them to grow, and you have to pick them, and the theme is 2 buttons, so you have to use 2 buttons. So what you're going to do is these 2. This one will be to do the actions, and this one will be to change out your tool. And I want to have watering can and a pruner for you to like pick your flowers. And then I want there to be a butterfly next. I would like to have random butterflies going across the screen. That's pretty much the whole game. But it's a game jam game, and I have only today to do it because I have to go to church tomorrow. I don't get home till like 1:30 or 2, and I would have to submit it, and I don't have time. So the best I could do is do as much as I can today, and then wake up early tomorrow like I do anyway, and finish it in the morning. So this is it. This is what we got. It should be simple. My main thing is I've already tried in the past to change the cursor for different tools, and it didn't work, so that's going to be my only problem. But we will see how it goes. So as you saw from the clip, I was showing you my basic thought process at the start. So the full loop is you right click to cycle through your tools, and you left click to use your tools. We ended up with only 2 tools at the end. I originally had 4 if you include the neutral hand. And the goal of the game is you have to keep pruning the flowers back, because if you get too many flowers, you end up with a game over. And that's pretty much the whole game. I'm actually happy with that simple loop because I really wanted to get this done, and I didn't want to have too many features. So I was really happy having that very simple loop. When it came to constructing the loop, it took me about 2 or 3 hours to get the main foundation of the loop completed. That being said, as I added more like graphics and learned how to do more things, the loop ended up having to be constructed more and more throughout the day, not just the first few hours. But the main focus of my original main goal, that was done within 2 or 3 hours. That now, which ignore background noise, my girlfriend's watching a live stream. What I got now, let me, okay. this will do a random spawn, and then this will grow in intervals. Which is really all I need for the main gameplay, except for now the mouse. And then I just have to put it all together. This is a super simple idea. I just needed to make the tools and make sure the tools work, and that's it. So, yeah, this is it. This is the whole game. But, hear me out. It will look fine. Hopefully when I'm editing, I remember to put the finished product in the front for a second to show you that it's actually worth watching the rest of this. Okay, I was trying to get the cursor to switch when I right click, and with the way I had it, which is when it's this, it switches over, then when it's this, it switches again. But that didn't work at all. What it was doing was switching all the way to the end, but now it's not even doing that. But, yeah, it didn't work. That's the main point. Now, I have this. Thank you to Nice Cream on Discord. And now I have this, which is great. Because each thing is going to have a different purpose. The 2 buttons you're using are the mouse buttons. So, and in those 2 or 3 hours, I learned a few things. Like when things spawn using a spawn point, change the origin of what you are trying to spawn, or else it will spawn weird and probably off the screen. I also learned how to change cursor animations efficiently, as well as making things only work when a certain animation is on the screen. Which is actually great, because the game I'm working on, that's my main game, that I'm not going to show for a while in case I get bored and don't like it anymore. That's going to be a feature, I'm hoping. I have a prototype of it now. We'll see if I still like it when I get the full loop finished. But I learned how to do that in this game jam, which was great, because I was trying to get it to work and I couldn't figure it out. But now I know how to do it. Shout out to Nice Cream on the Discord that I'm on. They helped me out. Peace, bro. Thanks for that. I also reuse things I've learned from other games I have made, like using a repeat timer with spawn points, using groups for button animations, and plant growing, which, hint hint, is part of this game I'm working on in the background. But I learned how to reuse those things, and I'm learning as I do more games and more game jams that every little thing that I keep in my brain is actually going to be reused for something, because I never would have thought I was going to reuse plant growing for an arcade game instead of what I'm working on, which is not an arcade game. Just keep that in mind when you're learning game development. You might be like, this is stupid, because I kind of feel like that. I don't actually particularly care for arcade games myself. I like more fleshed out games. But every time I make these arcade games, I learn more stuff. So it might feel a little dumb sometimes, but keep at it. It's actually going to do you good in the long run. I'm learning that. I had ideas for more tools and features, but I narrowed it down to 2 tools. The watering can to make things grow faster, so you can clear out more quicker, and garden pruners so you can harvest them. Hence the name Pixie Pruner. It was going to be Pixie Picker, but then I figured it's weird since you're not actually a pixie when you're picking it. This is going to be a tongue twister. So instead I call it Pixie Pruner because you use pruners to harvest flowers. And that is basically how my loop worked for the overview, the simplification. There were things in the background like tons of timers, tons of like variables that I'm still learning variables, and I'm proud that I got this to work and didn't frick up any variables. But yeah, that's the game loop, and I guess we'll get into the next thing. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm starting to add flowers. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. Put you there. Get in there. And now I'm trying to make spawns for each flower. So this is going to be Charisma spawn. And I'm just making a bunch of these. And making them different colors. Because what I have right now... as well. I have it so there's a score here, and this is gonna say what this does in case anyone doesn't remember. Oh Jesus! Score, and this is gonna get all changed, and then these spawn in every 5 seconds. and they're gonna be different seconds here. And then I'm gonna have it where you can harvest them. If you have a pruner. Wondering why it's not spawning on this. There we go. And there's going to be different flowers that spawn at different rates, and you have to harvest them before it fills with flowers, and then the game ends. I have 2 flowers done. I'm thinking maybe 5 is enough because this is a small game. 3 to 5. Because I still have to draw all of the animations for all the tools and all of the UI, and I also want to have a little drawing of a fairy over here. But yeah, now I'm making spawn points, and I'm gonna see if 2 flowers work. For this game, I decided it will be pixel art. I'm trying to learn Aseprite, so what better time than a game jam? The only art I made that was not made in Aseprite is the gingham background and thumbnails for game pages, which was done in GIMP. I learned a lot doing this and started to get a flow for using Aseprite. As far as design language itself, I had a few things I kept in mind. 1. All flower sprites have to have the same number of frames/animations. 2. Each flower must point in some sort of different direction so it doesn't look repetitive. 3. All leaves and stems must be a different shade of green just to help the eye see better. 4. Every flower is a different color, and the colors shouldn't clash much, if at all. 5. The background has a pattern, but it's faint and the color is light to not take away from the foreground. 6. The pixie head colors that aren't in the main gameplay section, but also didn't add wildly different ones either. It's meant to be a decoration, not distracting. 7. The UI has to be simple to follow. 8. The font must be readable. And 9. I added sway to the plants not only to add some life to the game, but also so when they spawn on top of each other, you can see that there is more than one so you don't get a false sense of security. As far as other design elements, the main menu and the play menu also only has 2 buttons. There are 2 game modes. You only use 2 mouse buttons, and you only get 2 tools. I really doubled down on the 2 theme for this. I wanted to add more flowers, but I didn't have time. But I did make sure, like I said, that the colors were different. And I also used the theme, which was wildflowers. It wasn't explicitly shown or said anywhere, but all of these are wildflowers. I have a daisy, a cosmo, dandelion, and a coneflower. Those are all considered wildflowers, even though you can buy them. Except for the dandelions, those are considered weeds most of the time, but I personally love dandelions. So I went with a visual theme and, just a general wildflower theme, even though you don't really prune wildflowers. It was just more of a personal, I like wildflowers. But that is how I went about designing everything, and I guess we will get to the menus. So I wanted to arrange a UI so I know what I'm doing, since I have pretty much the game up done. So now I can just focus on putting it together and making it look nice and all that other stuff. So, this is where the plants will grow. And then for how to play, I figure have it on this side. It'll tell you how to play, what the controls, and what this does. Only I will not have it written out. I'll have what the symbols are, and then I'll have what they mean instead of them writing it out, because that's too much words. And I prefer shapes anyway for anyone in case they can't speak English or whatever. A picture will tell them more than, and then if there's too many flowers bloom, the game is over. And that's pretty much it. And I'll put the score here and put the tool in use here. And then I want to have a little fairy, a little animated fairy over here. Not too animated where it's distracted, just enough to make the game feel alive. And yeah, and I'll put the spawn points down here where you don't see them, and plants will grow up, and yeah. So that is the plan. Now I need to make all of this, and that's gonna take me a couple of hours. When it comes to menus, I actually quite like making menus and UI in games, which apparently makes me weird since that's one of the main things I hear people say they don't like. But I like buttons in general, so maybe that's why I like menus. For this menu, I just wanted it to be simple. I used the fairy that I made for the main game in the menu to add life to it. I made the logo and the buttons. I would have liked to add tweens to the menus to make it look a little fancy with some fade-ins and outs and stuff. But I always forget how to do it. Then I have to follow the video or reference one of my games that has it to like see what I did. And it takes so long I didn't have time. Because it takes a lot of steps. I had no sleep by the time I got to the menus, so it didn't affect the gameplay, so I let it go. When it came to finishing touches, like sounds, music, fonts, I picked my battles. I didn't have time to make a nice font, so I downloaded a copyright-free one. I'm not good at music yet, so I downloaded free music as well. The sounds I made directly in Engine, so that wasn't so bad. As I said before, adding tweens would have been nice, but I had no time, so I let that go as well. Alright, I've gotten a few hours of sleep. I am awake. I have to go to church at about 10:30. And it is 5:30 or 5:40. And I still have to make breakfast and all of that later. I have a list. I'll try to put the screenshot on screen of what I have left. Because I made a list on my phone. And yeah, let's see if we can power through this. I started this game a little before 8 a.m. on Saturday and stopped around 12:30 a.m. on Sunday. We leave for church at around 10:45 on Sunday, and because I was doing this, we did our shopping on Sunday. I had no time to finish this on Sunday unless I woke up at 5:30 a.m., which I did. So when I got up at 5:30, I finished the game, which was, I drew the fairy, I made all the menus, the game over and complete pop-ups, I suppose you could call them, all the buttons, endless mode, images for the upload pages. It was a mad dash. I barely made it in time. But I did, and I'm really proud I got it done so quickly. And the main reason I got it done quickly is because my brain did not do that scope creep garbage that it likes to do. Alrighty, so the game is done. I'm recording this the day after I submitted because I spent all day yesterday sleeping. Oh Lord. So I managed to finish the whole thing. I haven't had any mentions so far of anything that people said was bad. Only criticism I've gotten, which isn't even really a criticism, it's more of just an observation, was one person said the music was a little too loud. I can still hear everything, but you know, that is also subject to opinion. I do think it's slightly too loud, or maybe the tool should be a little louder. But that's like the only complaint I've actually gotten, which is nice. I did realize I forgot to say which two buttons to use after I've already submitted it, and I did all of this like super late at night, I think, and then I uploaded it after being up from 5:30 in the morning. So I'm allowed to make mistakes. Thankfully, it looks like I didn't mess up any of my variables for how long stuff's supposed to be, so everything worked properly, so that's good. So here is the game. Like I said, it's the GDevelop Weekend Jam. Here's the page, some screenshots. It's very hard to make screenshots of things activating because I wanted this screenshot to show the bubbles, but it did not want to show the bubbles. Also, I probably mentioned this early in the devlog, but I purposely made sure each flower was kind of pointing in a different direction and also a different color, so that way they would stand out. And I also made sure the background was super faded, so that way each color would pop. And I also made sure each of the stems had a different shade of green, so they're a little easier to see. Like this is more of a yellowy green, this is more of a bluish green, this is more of a springy green but slightly more desaturated, and this is a little more saturated. Here's the game. I didn't turn this off because I forgot, and also because this is already loaded once on my computer. A little screen pops up, made in GDevelop. I didn't make a custom one. I honestly forgot those exist. I was just trying to get this submitted. But it just says made in GDevelop, which that's the whole point, is the GDevelop jam. Here are the sounds, the buttons, credits. I wanted to do tweening, ran out of time, but the game still works regardless. You don't need to have tweening. So I believe that Cute Mood is this song right now. And then the main gameplay has a different song. Play, you can pick normal or endless. I'm gonna pick normal. And if you right click, you change the two tools. And you water the plants. And because they pile up kind of quick, you want to water them to make a lot of them grow. So that way you can like get rid of a lot at once. I'm actually really happy that I made this for multiple reasons. One, because I'm really proud of how it looks and like that I finished it. But also, this here I want to do in my game I'm working on by myself. That sound tells you there's 60 seconds left, and then another one goes off at 20 seconds just to keep you noticing the passage of time, because this can become kind of a hyper-focused, you know, turn your brain off type game, and I wanted to make sure people were aware the timer was going to go off. Which that timer sound is also turned off for endless. And I hope I do a good job. Also, there's no leaderboards. Leaderboards in GDevelop are confusing. Yeah, 20 seconds. But I am very happy with this game. I'm happy how it looks. I'm happy I finished it. I'm happy I didn't do anything majorly broken. Especially with the amount of limited sleep I got making this. Come on. 2 more seconds, we can do it. Yeah. And it paused the timers. I think all of them should be paused. Oh, nope. Some of them aren't paused. Some of them are still growing up. Well, regardless, you can't click on them. I told to pause the timer, but it doesn't affect the gameplay none, so that's fine. It changes the sprites so you can't get more points and cheat. And you can play again if you want. Alright, so the game jam is over. People have voted. The ending amount of entries was 104. There was a lot more, but some people were entering that, like, did they just re-uploaded a template? And I saw one person trying to sell a Minecraft skin for some reason, or something to do with Minecraft, I don't know. So about 20 people got removed, you know, who weren't following the rules for different reasons. So the ending entries was 104, and the results. And if you scroll down, I'm on the first page. First of all, that's exciting. 18th place out of 104. I believe the last jam I joined, I was in the 40s, I think. Like 43 or something. Flashback, edit future me to say and show what we got. I think it was like 43 or something, but I could be wrong. So I did really well. I did better in this one than the other one, but the other one also had double the people. But still, I did well. Originality and innovation, I got number 7, which is really good. Graphics, I got number 12. Overall, 18. Audio, 27. Fun, 34. And theme, 48. I feel like the theme would have been higher if I didn't forget in the UI to say you need to use the right and left for what they do. I feel like a lot of people didn't use both buttons because I forgot to make that clear. I had to, like, the next day after I uploaded it, like, put it in the itch.io description because I completely forgot. I was so tired when I started putting the instructions and stuff on the screen. But I know how that could have been better. I can think of a few things that would have made this better. Audio, that's fair. I just made some quick sounds and I just got some music off of Pixabay or something like that. So that all makes sense. I'm surprised it's that high, especially these two. But I'm really happy with graphics. Graphics got in the top 15. Like, that's pretty good for my first full Aseprite game. That's really good. Originality in the top 10. That's really good. Top 20. Like, my perfectionism was like, yeah, well, you didn't do better. I'm on the first page. Shut up, brain. So I'm proud of it. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will link the game. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And